This is Radio London. And now we present Bassett's Jelly Baby Show.
My fruit babies, fabulous sweets, they're Bassett's Jelly Babies. Lots in a box, so shop, shop, shop for Bassett's Jelly Babies. Yeah, Bassett's Jelly Babies.
Radio London's DJ Kenny Everett is in the States. For why? He's with the Beatles. Direct from Chicago, Kenny Everett reports to Paul Kay on the day-to-day developments of this controversial tour.
At 12:30 on Pan American's Flight 57, Boeing 707, and the Beatles were guarded from view of the prying teenage passengers by a curtain which was drawn between compartments, the first and second. And there were lots of kids in the plane trying to get through the first-class section to ask for autographs. And the stewardesses had a fantastic time keeping back the crowds. And John Lennon even threatened to sing a few verses of Yellow Submarine to shut them up.
And then what?
Well, we arrived in Boston, which was the first stop, at 7:30 English time, which is 2:30 USA time, to another barrage of press. We weren't really supposed to land in Boston. It was supposed to go straight on to Chicago. But the plane radioed ahead that they would be landing, and we managed to muster up about 300, 400 fans in Boston Airport at very short notice. We only stayed for about 5 minutes before we went over to Illinois, Chicago, and our first major stop. About 4,000 kids in Chicago Airport, and they missed the Beatles because the Beatles stopped off at the runway about 400 yards ahead of the airport and dashed away in a limousine.
Was this intentional?
Yes, I think it was, because there was a little crowd of
Boys and girls, I hope you're enjoying this show, and I'd just like to briefly remind you before we play more music and go back to Kenny in Chicago that this is being presented by Bassett's Jelly Babies. They're available everywhere. Britain's best loved sweet.
Say hi to Paul and John.
You like Paul and John, do you?
I think Paul's sweet.
Why do you think he's sweet? What's different about him than any other average, typical young lad?
Oh, he's got beautiful eyes. Great big,
A lot of the questions were about the actual performance they were going to do, although none of us press people knew anything about it yet. A few of the numbers they do play, however, were released to us by Tony Barra, the press secretary, and I was able to answer one of the girls when she said, which numbers are they doing? They start off with rock and roll music.
Oh!
You like that one?
I love it.
And then they do Babies in Black.
Do they do Long Tall Sally?
Yeah.
Kansas City?
No, they don't. They only do two screamers. They do rock and roll music at the beginning and Long Tall Sally at the end.
Ended at the last time, wasn't it? Yeah, in Labor Day, when they came the first time, they ended with Long Tall Sally.
Yeah. Did they all go wild?
Oh, everybody.
They're a pretty enthusiastic audience, so they're usually this hot.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You know, it's a different crowd, though. When we came to see the Stones, the kids were really, they're really different, you know, like the Village kids and that. And now, I don't know, the kids are really different here, but they really like the kids, the groups that come, and everybody gets greeted really good. I think they're great kids, really.
You're all in favor of teenagers.
Yeah, I think they're great.
Which one do you like the most out of all the Beatles?
I like Paul, but I think John's sexy.
You think he's sexy?
Yeah.
What do you think of George?
I think he's very quiet, but he's sexy too.
He's very deep, George.
Yeah, he's quiet, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
And what about Ringo?
No, I don't like Ringo.